there are kids playing around in toxic material. We just arrived in Shantou. We're here to look at one of the big environmental issues in this town, and we're being told that the issue is extremely sensitive. Our driver was telling us that if we stay on the street for 20 minutes with the camera, the local police will arrest us. They'll turn us over to the security guards at the different sites who will then beat us up. So we're taking a little lunch break here. We stopped off at this roadside restaurant. Here we have some roast pork and roast duck, chicken and peppers, spinach, and some seafood soup. Looks good. It's still safe to keep the camera out. After lunch, we're gonna head into a couple of areas that are pretty sensitive. They become notorious for people becoming poisoned by toxic chemicals. We were headed to a city called Guiyu, where the main industry is dismantling old electronic equipment known as e-waste. On the way, we passed through another town, Nanyang, where we could already see piles of electronics on the side of the road. Every single one of these yards, you can see people dismantling computer parts.
Hey, 这里停，可以停一下吗？
现在等一下给他看一下这个管道。你等一下，他就会报警了。
Smell like it. Oh, it's so strong. We'd been told that local residents ran these e-waste recycling businesses, and that hundreds of thousands of poor migrants from other parts of China were working in towns like this one. There's a kid right here helping his father. They're burning some of these parts. The concern over e-waste revolves around the potential toxicity of certain electronic parts, which may contain lead, cadmium, mercury, and other hazardous materials. As you can see, all of this work is being done in people's homes or underneath their homes. They're not being done in any factory with any type of control, and that's the big issue because this stuff can be really toxic. What you also see are kids. There are kids playing around everywhere among all of this junk and toxic material. We've just been driving for miles, and everywhere it's this electronic waste. So, you know, that computer that you're on, that cell phone that you use, it could end up in this little village here in China. Each year, up to 50 million tons of e-waste is generated worldwide. Much of it comes from first world countries. It's then shipped off to developing nations such as Nigeria, India, and China to be recycled for their parts and heavy metals. And in recent years, China has itself become a big producer of e-waste. Mr. Ong, how do you feel? Are you feeling nervous?
现在你感觉什么样了？你紧张吗？
讲什么？
你现在有没有紧张了？
你在车上拍的紧张就不。
Our driver, Mr. Ong, said that the locals were particularly suspicious because they didn't want media attention to interfere with their businesses. We decided to see how they'd react to us.
他要出去走一走啊，可以吗
Just from here to there.
对。
你出去。
Okay. Ready?
If they refuse to talk to you, what do you think?
你好。
Just walk up and say hi. Just quickly.
Okay, 对不起。He said don't film.
Okay.
So this is, we just got out of the car for a second. Our driver was nervous, but he told us that we could bring this little camera out here and just walk down the road for a little bit. So we can finally maybe try to get some closer shots for you guys. And you can see these are printers. You can see right here there's a big printer with a bunch of pink ink on it.
Look at stereos.
Laser disc player. What did you say? 20岁. This boy is 20 years old and he came from Sichuan province to work here. 20 years. 你说英文? He's mimicking me. 20 years.